I'm Rod Sterling. You're listening to the Zero Hour.
Suspense.
I'm the Whistler.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Who is it?
The Fat Man.
Presents The Man Called X.
The Mysterious Traveler. Another journey into the realm of the strange and terrifying. I hope you will enjoy the trip, that it will thrill you a little and chill you a little. So settle back, get a good grip on your nerves. Where are we going? You'll find out when we get there.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Drama and Theater, brought to you by Duane Old Time Radio. Drama and Theater features some of the best programs from the golden age of radio, including Escape, The Fat Man, Suspense, The Whistler, Zero Hour, Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar, and many, many more. Before we start today's drama, if you enjoy what I'm doing, let me ask you to subscribe to my channel. Subscribing is 100% free, and you will receive notifications on new posts. Lastly, if you have a moment, write a short 1 or 2 sentence review or give a rating on your preferred podcast service. A positive review or rating would help me out a lot. And now, on to the drama. And thank you for your support, as always. Suspense is here, 2 episodes. Menace and Wax, November 17th, 1942. And then The Body Snatchers, which aired November 24th, 1942.
Suspense. For Suspense, tonight we present Menace in Wax by John Dixon Carr.
During the French Revolution of 1793, a Swiss girl copied in wax the severed heads of those who had just been guillotined. She married a Frenchman named Tussaud and came to London, and she founded Madame Tussaud's Waxworks. There it is, still in Marylebone Road, near Baker Street Station. Not the original building. That was destroyed by fire. But it remained untouched when a darker shadow than revolution came to England. And they plastered high explosives all along that road and hit the cinema next door. We are going to London under the bomber's moon. Late one night in March of 1941, a young man hurried up to the great glass doors of Madame Tussaud's.
Hey, open up here. Isn't there a night watchman around this place?
There is, Governor, and I'm him. Now, what do you want at this hour of the night?
My name is Rogers. I'm from the Daily Record.
Oh.
If you let me get inside, I'll show you my press card. Didn't you get any orders about me?
Well, maybe I have at that. Oh, you're the bloke who wants to see the Chamber of Horrors.
That's right.
All right, you may as well come in.
My paper got a tip there's something funny going on around here.
Something funny going on here? That's a good one. The rain's not very heavy tonight, is it?
No, they're going over.
You ain't heard where, Governor?
We got a teletype flash. There was the Midlands.
Lord lummy, and I've got a sister in Birmingham. Oh, why can't she come and stop in a nice, safe place like London? There's the Regent's Park guns opening up again. Makes your teeth rattle and shakes the hats off the dummies' heads. You know, this Chamber of Horrors is getting to be popular tonight.
You mean there's been somebody here before me?
Yes.
A woman?
That's right, Governor.
About 5 feet 2 inches tall, very pretty. If you like 'em, brunette and big-eyed and a phony French accent.
No, Governor, no. This was only an old lady that lost her handbag.
Oh, thank the Lord for that anyway. Now then, what is going on around here?
Well, I don't know, Governor. You'll have to ask Pearson about that.
Who's Pearson?
Oh, he's the bloke that's the watchman down there. He's old and he imagines things. He phoned your piper. Have you got an electric torch?
Yes.
Then go straight on through the marble hall and down the stairs on your left. And don't speak to the policeman, 'cause he's wax. Yes, that's the way, Governor. That's the way to the Chamber of Horrors.
Thank you. Pearson. Hello, Pearson. Pearson.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
You're looking for me.
Oh, gee, I didn't see you there. I must have thought you were one of these wax dummies.
Ugly dim light, isn't it?
Yes. Rogers is my name. I'm from the Daily Record.
Oh, yes. I'm glad you came over. I phoned your paper myself. Maybe I'm just imagining things, but...
Oh, I don't blame you. This place would make anybody nervous, especially during an air raid.
Well, sir, it's all right as long as you don't get to imagine they're watching you.
Oh, and do you?
Oh, yes. Sometimes. That's the gambling group in the center there.
Uh-huh. What's that thing over there?
That's the famous guillotine.
Oh, wait a minute, old boy. You're not trying to tell me that's the original guillotine?
No, that was burnt in the fire. Madame Tussaud bought it from Sanson, the executioner. Let me tell you something, Mr. Rogers.
What?
Years ago, this is straight, a young French woman came in here. There was nobody else in the place. She thought it would be great fun to say she'd put her neck in the same guillotine as Marie Antoinette. So she climbed up on that platform. She snapped the little wooden collar down round her neck, shutting herself in. All of a sudden, she realized she didn't know which spring controlled the collar and which spring controlled the knife.
Oh, good Lord, she didn't...
No. But they say she went crazy. They say she screamed and screamed.
What's that?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you, but sweet mama, I'm so scared myself I cannot help it.
Susie.
Oh, no, not Susie. Susie? You make it so it rhyme with floozy. That is not nice.
Why, you little devil. I ought to turn you across my knee. What are you doing here? And will you forget that French accent? You're driving me crazy.
You know this young lady, sir?
Do I? She works for my paper. She's haunting me.
Oh, Bert, that's not nice. I like the way I talk. I only try to give you ideas.
That's just what I mean. Now take your arms from around my neck.
She's French, sir.
Her mother came from New York, like I did. She's got some funny ideas, accents, and disguises.
So I dress up as an old lady, and I come along, too. That is clever, no?
Definitely no.
But I go into what I think is the ladies' room, and there is Jack the Ripper. I'm so scared I almost kick the ghost.
Whatever else you do, miss, for the love of heaven, put out that cigarette.
It is not permitted?
It is what they are most afraid of in this place. Fire. If you vouch for this young lady, Mr. Rogers...
I don't vouch for anybody. But go on now. What's all the mystery here at Madame Tussaud's?
You see the group over there? It's called the Gamblers.
That 3 men and a woman in 18th century costume sitting around a table playing cards?
Yes. And about once a week, when the lights are out...
Yes?
Those dummies do play cards.
Is this a publicity trick of some kind?
Oh, no, sir.
Then what's the game?
I'm not crazy. I know they don't actually do it, sir. What I want to know is who changes the cards round in their hands and why.
Well, could anybody? Anybody from the outside, I mean, get in to change the cards?
Oh, yes. There's a back door. But why would anyone want to break in here just to change those cards around?
Mon cher Bert, écoutez. Listen. I have made a discovery.
Listen, if you're going to talk, speak English. Or better yet, just keep still.
But I have made a discovery. This card game.
What about it?
It is crooked. Here is a man which has 2 deuces of hearts in the same hand.
Listen, Susie, I don't give a... Wait a minute. Let's have a look at those cards.
I give you ideas, yes?
Susie, for once you're right. And look here. 2 of these players have all the clubs and hearts. The other 2 have all the diamonds and spades. Susie, how many letters in the alphabet?
26, no?
And twice 26 is...
52.
The number of cards in a pack. Give me a pencil, Susie, quick.
The War Office, Whitehall. MI5, headquarters of military intelligence. There next morning in the map room used as an office by Colonel Warrender.
Mr. Rogers, I'm a busy man.
I appreciate that, Colonel Warrender.
Anyhow, sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Now, what's all this? These cards you claim form a code. Is that it?
Yes, sir. Now, look, sir. Let each letter of the alphabet represent a card in clubs and hearts. That's 26.
And then?
And then when you get to the middle of the message, switch the alphabet over to diamonds and spades. Then you won't keep on repeating. Now, will you read what I've got written on this piece of paper?
Jack of diamonds, Q. 3 of clubs, F. Well, that doesn't seem to mean much.
Well, never mind the cards, Colonel. Just read the letters.
Q, F, A, C, T, O, R, Y.
Yes, sir. Q Factory. Go on.
Just a moment. What is that infernal noise? Johnson Burroughs.
Don't bother with that, sir. Just read the message, please.
Oh. Q Factory. 10 p.m., 15th.
Today's the 15th of March, Colonel.
Oh, all preparations made. Use dive bombers. I see. This message was left openly.
So openly that nobody ever noticed it.
Yes, the trick's been tried before.
No contacts, no gatherings, no letters that might be intercepted. A whole spy ring could walk through that wax museum and read the message without being seen.
You newspaper men trying to teach me my job?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I only...
No, go on.
Well, don't you see? 3 or 4 little boats with portable wireless sets go down the Thames estuary. When they're beyond pursuit, they send that message by radio. Somebody listens. And it's no secret in Fleet Street, sir, that Q Factory is out in the wilds of Gloucestershire.
It's no secret anywhere.
And that we're making the Shaftesbury bomber out there. So tonight, unless we do something about it, they're coming over and bomb Q Factory to blazes.
That's impossible.
Why? Or can't you tell me?
I can tell you this much.
Yes, sir?
Q Factory is so well hidden that even our own pilots can't find it from the air. That's one objection to this message.
Any other objection?
Yes, this talk about dive bombers. Dive bombers in a night attack. What's the good of a dive bomber if he can't see its objective?
Well, suppose somebody showed a light.
He'd be shot dead as soon as he showed it. Every inch of country for a quarter of a mile round the factory. A quarter of a mile, Mr. Rogers, is patrolled day and night.
Well, just the same, they're going to have a try at it, sir.
How?
I don't know how.
Then, if you'll excuse me, Mr. Rogers...
Listen, Colonel Warrender, will you give me a pass to go down there to the factory?
Certainly not. No one's permitted to go there except the workers.
How is the place defended?
There's a night fighter station nearby, and several batteries of 4 3.7 guns.
Then give me a pass to the fighter station or to the gun post. That's a legitimate newspaper request.
Well, I might manage a pass to one of the gun posts here.
Then you'll do it?
Well, what on earth is that infernal row? Sounds like somebody locked up in a coat cupboard.
Yes, as a matter of fact, Colonel, it is somebody locked up in a coat cupboard. A young lady, so-called.
A young lady? Who locked her up?
I did.
And just what the devil do you mean, sir, locking up people in coat cupboards in the War Office?
Well, she's a bit excitable, Colonel. I thought that she'd better not see you.
Oh, thanks for the consideration.
There's just one other favor I'd like to ask.
As well?
If she asks you for a pass, don't give it to her. Don't give it to her under any circumstances.
What's her name?
Susie Dubois.
You're rather too late for that, young man. The Public Relations Office granted her a pass 2 hours ago.
What? Oh... A woman to an anti-aircraft battery?
This is what we call a mixed battery. Women on the guns as well as men. She said it would make a good human interest story for the press. I must say, I agree with her. One moment, Mr. Rogers, before you go.
Yes, sir.
That gun post is fully 2 miles from the factory. You can go there, but if you take one step further, you'll be shot on sight by our guards. I warn you.
I'll be careful, Colonel. I'll be careful.
Somewhere in the West Country, a yellow moon shines over bare trees. A white mist, moving, clings to the ground.
Susie, are you sure we're on the right road?
Mon cher, they have taken away all the signposts in case there is an invasion.
I know that.
But I follow the map. The map cannot be wrong.
We've been driving for hours. Must be... Yes, it is. Nearly 9:30. Half an hour to go. Trees, and still more trees.
Look. There's a break in the trees ahead. It will be open country in a minute.
Yeah. That's funny. Look how deep the leaves are here on the road.
But one thing I tell you, just between you and me and the bedpost...
Gatepost, Susie. The term is between you and me and the gatepost. And speak English.
I am speaking English very well, thank you. I do not need your help to be pure.
All right.
Now, this map.
Well, what about it?
It say we should go through a lot of villages. Mitford, Archidine, and Saffron-Weville. I have not seen any villages.
Did you say Mitford?
Oui, monsieur.
Susie, let me have a look at that map. Come on, hand it over.
But what is wrong? It is a perfectly good map.
Yes, Susie. It's a fine map. It's an excellent map. Only it's a map of the wrong county.
I have made a mistake? No?
I don't even believe you can read. This is a map of Barsetshire. We should be somewhere in Glebeshire. Now, where in the devil are we?
We're at the entrance to some kind of clearing with leaves on it.
Hello there.
What was that?
Somebody calling us. And if we're in forbidden area...
I see him now.
Where?
He's behind us. He came out of a white cottage back there. He's a big, heavy man with a mustache.
Never mind the mustache. He's wearing some kind of a uniform, and he's got a rifle.
You think he plugged us? No?
I think it is not unlikely. Get out those War Office passes of ours. Wait.
Good evening, my friends.
Good evening.
Can you tell me...
We don't mean any harm.
Can you tell me what time it is?
Oh. What time it is?
Yes.
Yeah. It's, 28.5 past 9.
Thank you. I will keep you covered while I set my watch. There. My next question is, would you like me to shoot you both?
No.
Listen, Mr.
McAllister.
Captain McAllister.
That's right.
Well, Captain, this girl, she's been reading the wrong map. You see, we don't even know where we are.
You're in Hollywood Forest, my friend.
Hollywood Forest?
Is that good or bad?
And you don't know what's just beyond the edge of this clearing?
No.
There's a big open space of 1/4 of a mile. In the middle of that open space...
Q Factory. We're right on top of it.
Then you have heard of Q Factory, my friend.
Captain McAllister, we're from the War Office, and we've got passes to prove it.
Let's see the passes.
We were trying to find gun site number... I've forgotten the number. But it's here on that card.
You've passed the gun site. 2 miles back up the road. All right. Here are your passes.
What are you going to do to us?
I'm not in the regular army. You can thank your stars I'm not. I'm forestry preservation.
Oh. You are not going to chuck us in the cooler, even?
No. Now turn that car around, get back along this road as fast as you can. If they fire at you, as they probably will...
Oh, I wish I am home. Pray no, Mo, I wish I am home.
Well, then hope for the best. My watch had stopped, and you did me a good turn. Well, hurry along. Hurry.
Sight of heavy ack-ack battery. 4 3.7 guns against a moon growing clear white. White as the concrete emplacements, sealed against light where the crews, men and women, sitting, waiting.
Well, sir, glad to have you both here. But this idea of yours about dive bombers attacking a blacked-out factory in the middle of a forest is rather fantastic, don't you think?
Well, I admit it doesn't make much sense, Captain Bronson, but I have a hunch that I'm right.
Well, glad you and Miss Susie drove out. Don't see many strangers. Frightfully boring. Nice country, of course, good air and everything, but dull. Dull as ditch water.
What's that?
Only some of the lads and lasses inside. Like to walk along the emplacement here?
Oh, is that allowed?
Oh, certainly, old boy. Why not? Bright moon tonight, isn't it?
Yes, bomber's moon.
We nearly get shot on our way here.
Quiet, Susie. We're not supposed to have been there.
If I nearly get shot, I am going to say I nearly get shot. It was a man which is called, McAllister.
Oh, old Mac, huh? Very decent sort, Mac. He's a tree doctor.
A what?
Tree doctor. Got to have wood, you know. But trees start to die. Mac goes round the edge of the clearing and smears them with stuff to keep them well. How did you come to meet him?
Well, the fact is, we nearly got as far as the factory tonight.
Oh, then you were lucky to get back alive.
There weren't any barrage balloons over the factory, I noticed.
Hardly, old boy. They wouldn't advertise, would they? With balloons in open country?
And if the Germans did use dive bombers?
Oh, they're not coming, old boy. Just make up your mind to that.
I wonder if you'll say so at 10 o'clock.
But it is 10 o'clock. It's just 10 now.
Well, it can't be. We drove here like blazes. It was only 9:30 then.
Well, then your watch must be very slow, old boy. No, I'm afraid you're wrong. I've never seen it quieter. Cold tonight, very dry for March. Look all around you. Moonlight, open country, not a sign of life in it. Quiet, peaceful, and silent as the great...
What was that?
By George, I think we've got some visitors. I think we're going to see some fun.
Enemy planes approaching south-southwest. Action stations. Enemy planes approaching south-southwest.
Now do you believe me?
Better stand back, old boy. Operation Crew's coming on.
I said, now do you believe me?
I want you to watch these girls work. They do everything, you know, except actually fire the guns. Now, keep your hair on, old boy.
Susie, he still can't see it.
Oh, they'll only be going over.
You think so?
Oh, yes. We sometimes get a crack at them when they're making for Bristol.
Standing by for action. Standing by.
Listen. I have heard that noise 1,000 times, but every time I hear it, I get sick.
They're flying ruddy low, you know.
Just what I was thinking.
Spotter! Any identification?
Junkers, 88.
Dive bombers.
Height, 5,200.
Now, look here, you two newspaper people.
Yes, sir?
There might be things popping, you know, can't tell. Like to get below?
No, thanks.
I don't like this, Bert, but I'll stay too.
Rangefinder?
Rangefinder, on target.
Look here, you two. Those War Office passes you gave me, I'm not supposed to keep them. No, I'd better give them back, just in case.
Predictor, on target.
Here we go, ladies and gents.
Fire.
Stand by.
Predictor on target. Fire.
Stand by.
Predictor on target.
Headquarters message, sir.
Fire.
Yes, Corporal?
Hold fire. Night fighters taking off.
Hold fire. Night fighters taking off.
Hold fire. Message understood.
What is the matter with them?
With who?
Those Boche planes. They're still a good way off, but they don't come any closer.
Must be going over after all.
They're circling. I think they're waiting for a signal.
Anyhow, here are your War Office passes. You seem to have got them all smeared with oil.
Oil?
That is all right, monsieur. When we get them back from Captain McAllister, they have oil on them. I think maybe he dropped them on the leaves because there's oil on the tires of the car, too. Then I think how always in this we meet things that burn. At Madame Tussauds last night, they would not let me smoke a cigarette in case of fire.
Fire. That's it, fire.
What's the matter with you, old boy?
Why did that fella, way out at the end of nowhere, want to know what time it was?
Are you scatty?
McAllister, you told me so yourself. He goes around the edges of the clearing and smears the trees with stuff to keep them well.
Well, what about it?
Suppose it was crude oil. Suppose between each tree he laid an invisible fuse of dead leaves soaked in oil.
I don't understand.
In 30 seconds, a complete square of fire runs around the limits of the factory grounds. That draws the bombers in. Then as the flames blaze higher, they've got enough light to dive on their target.
There. Our night fighters are letting loose.
Brunson, I see it all now. Come on. We've got to get to that tree, Dr. McAllister. It's a matter of minutes. Susie, is Branson following in the car behind us?
Yes. He's following, and men with rifles.
We've got to get to McAllister's cottage.
This McAllister?
I'll bet you 10 to 1 the real McAllister's either dead or tied up in that cottage. The fellow we saw was an imposter. Look out, Susie. Keep your head down.
Oh, those fighters. They will chew up every younker in the place. They have not got the chance of a snowshoe in heaven.
No, Susie, not a snowshoe in heaven. You mean...
I know you are English at a time like this. What I cannot understand...
Look out!
I don't see why he hasn't set his signal off. What is delaying him? Why don't he strike a match when the bombers come over?
Because he's a good Nazi.
A good Nazi?
My watch was slow, don't you remember? And I gave him the wrong time. He had orders to strike his match at 10 o'clock, and he'll not do it until 10 o'clock if there are 500 planes instead of 20.
Bert, I see him.
Where?
Far up the road. He's running.
Yeah, that's him. Think we can reach him before he gets to the clearing?
Not the chance of a snowshoe in heaven.
Signal Brunson to pass us. A long shot with a rifle might...
Bert, one of the Junkers is hit.
Huh?
He's right over us.
That's not all. He's unloading his bombs. That whole stick's coming straight down our direction. Keep your head down. Are you all right?
I don't feel hurt.
Now, this is a dirt road. The bomb sank too deeply before it exploded. We didn't catch the blast. Come on, Susie. McAllister was just ahead of us. Come on, let's get out. We can't drive any farther. This road is full of bomb craters. Wait a minute, Susie. There's McAllister.
He is dead.
Yes, Susie. Killed by a Nazi bomb.
Look, on the ground. What are those two white cards?
Oh. They're all smeared with oil. They must have fallen out of McAllister's pocket just before he got hit. Let's see. What do you know?
What are the cards, Bert?
2 tickets for Madame Tussaud's Waxworks. I'm afraid our friend's never going to get to use them.
Not the chance of a snowshoe in heaven.
And so ends Menace in Wax. Tonight's story of Suspense. Columbia presents these stories of mystery and intrigue and dangerous adventure for your relaxation and enjoyment. Next Tuesday, there'll be another in this series. Same hour, 9:30 Eastern Wartime. William Spear, the producer. John Dietz, the director. Bernard Herrmann, the composer-conductor. John Dixon Carr, the author. Our collaborators on Suspense.
Here is a message of vital importance to every person who drives an automobile in America. There is wide misunderstanding about gasoline and rubber, and the government wants the following facts brought to everyone's attention. Actually, there is no scarcity of gasoline except in some parts of the East. But nowhere in the country is there enough rubber for military and civilian use. Starting 2 weeks from today, December 1st, mileage rationing goes into effect. This means that no car owner anywhere in the United States will be able to buy gasoline without a mileage rationing book. The purpose is to conserve the rubber we have by eliminating all unnecessary driving. When we think of the tremendous distances our mechanized army is traveling in North Africa and the long road to victory that still lies ahead, this extra effort on our part is slight indeed. Remember, everybody is going to have mileage rationing, so why not be prepared? The best way each of us can save rubber is by sharing our car with others. Let one car do the work for 2 or 3. So why not arrange with the neighbors tonight and start sharing the car tomorrow? It's the one real, important contribution that every automobile driver can make. Don't be a lone rider. Share your car and do your share for victory. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Suspense. The hushed voice, the prowling step in the dead of night, the crime that is almost committed, the stir of nerves at the ticking of the clock, the rescue that might be too late, or the murderer who might get away. Mystery and intrigue and dangerous adventure. We invite you to enjoy stories that keep you in suspense.
For Suspense, tonight we present The Body Snatchers by John Dixon Carr.
Beware of the body snatcher who prowls after dark. Beware of the graves he robs. Beware of the murders he commits to provide new corpses for the doctors.
Up to the year 1832, the body snatchers terrorized England. According to the law, only 4 bodies a year could legally be supplied to the surgeons for anatomical study. And even these were a monopoly granted to the Barbers and Surgeons Company of London. But the study of surgery had to go on. In hundreds of medical schools all over England, perfectly reputable doctors were compelled to buy bodies and ask no questions. In 1828, burst the scandal of Burke and Hare, who found grave robbing too slow and murdered 16 persons in order to supply Dr. Knox of Edinburgh. And so, out of basic good purpose, sprang the evil of
the body snatcher.
Turn back the clock now to a cold night just 110 years ago. Look into the brick kitchen of a house on Wandsworth Common, not far from London. There, in the light of a tallow dip, sits old Mother Slade in her draggled body.
What's a keeping 'em? 2 hours. 2 mortal hours for the Dutch clock. And they're not here yet.
Mother Slade?
And the graveyard not half a mile off. And once I thought I heard church bells ring. And one...
Mother Slade, did you call?
No, my girl, I did not call.
But I thought I...
And what are you doing up at this hour, my girl?
I was only locking up, Mother Slade.
Ain't it enough to have taken you over from a good-for-nothing mother, not worth the gunpowder to blow her up?
Please, Mother Slade.
And given you a good home, and brought you up practically like a lady, with only the housework to do.
I'm sorry, Mother Slade. Only I wish you wouldn't talk like that about me own mother.
And what do you do, Peggy Lester? You stop up until this hour. You mislay me snuff box 20 times a day.
I was only going to say, I thought I heard a horse and cart in the lane.
In our lane?
Yes, Mother Slade. There it is now.
Yes. Easy my dears. Drive easy with the merchandise. The doctors don't like it if you bump the merchandise.
Merchandise, Mother Slade? What's that?
I'll tell you what it is, my girl.
Well, I didn't mean anything, Mother Slade.
It's your Uncle Matt and your cousin Rob are coming home from their business. That's what it is. You hear that, Piggy Lister?
I didn't mislay your snuff box. It's on the table.
And if you don't want me to take my fingernails to you instead of a strap, you get on up to bed this minute, do you?
Yes, Mother Slade.
I'm a-coming, my dears. Don't be impatient. I'm a-coming. Nasty dim light this candle gives. Oh, Mother Slade has got the rheumatics so cruel she can hardly move. Just pull back the bar, open the door. Well, Matt, did you get it?
Did we get it? Strike me blind, but that's a good one, ain't it, Rob?
Go to gad, can't you? Get inside and close the door.
They ain't after you.
Ain't they? Can't you hear anything?
I thought I heard church bells.
More like a perishing funeral bell if you asks me.
Take it easy, Rob. Take it easy. We've shaken them off.
Have we? I wish I was as certain as some people. The spades and thatches still in the cart.
Let them stay. Who's a-coming to find them?
Then you didn't get it after all, you thick-skull Peter.
Now, don't you start blaming us.
Yeah, you shut your potato trap, Mother Slade, or that'll make you shut it.
What happened?
I'll tell you what happened. He was too quick, that's what. The girl was only buried this afternoon.
The sooner the better, my dear. What's the good of the merchandise if it ain't fresh, eh?
You hold your noise and listen. We left the horse and cart outside like we always do. We creeps up to the lich gate of the churchyard.
Walk softly, Matt. Walk softly, Rob, in your oily beaver hats and neckcloths, under the starlight and the white-frosted elms. Take care of the graves, too. Spring guns may be set in some of them to protect the dead from marauders. And if the coffin is one of those new iron ones, all your labor will be in vain. Open the gate softly.
Don't make such a bloody row with them shovels.
I can't help it. I'm loaded down with all this stuff.
Oh, and who'll do all the work when we do get there? I will.
Matt.
Aye?
Listen.
I can't hear nothing except your teeth are chattering.
Matt, there's other people besides us in this here churchyard.
Aye, 200 or 300 deaders. But they won't bother us.
I mean living people.
Don't talk so.
Somebody's got a dark lantern. I've seen it flash past the gravestones.
Oh? Where?
Can't you see it now? It's coming straight toward us.
Yes, I see him. Come on.
They've seen us, Matt.
Easy, as it was. Down beyond the gravestones. Crouch down. They can't shoot through stone.
Matt, it says here, sacred to the memory
it's
of...
the girl's relatives. They've been watching her grave.
Oh, Struth.
If only I had my Barkers. First time in 2 years I've gone without a brace of pistols, and this happens.
But you ain't got your Barkers, Matt Patterson.
I got what's just as good. Give me a shovel.
What are you going to do?
Charge 'em. This here shovel's got a nice edge.
Are you daft?
They'll have to take time out to reload, won't they? Hear that? Somebody's started a bill. That'll bring down every peeler within a mile. If you want a tithing ticket and a neck in a rope, stop where you are. But if you don't want to get scragged before your time, follow me. That's all there is to it, Mother Slade. He went out by the gate and blow me if they could stop us.
You perishing numbskulls. Did they recognize you?
No. We had our neckerchiefs around our eyes.
And did you do it?
I don't know. There's blood on the shovel.
No, there ain't, Mother Slade. I wiped it off.
Anyway, we're here. What I want now is a Christian fire to sit by.
and a drop of spirits to warm my stomach.
There's no spirits in the house, Nat Patterson.
Don't you lie to me, you ugly mouth.
Let go of my hand, Nat Patterson. I'm warning you.
Better let him go, Matt.
Yeah.
There's no spirits. Only half a loaf of bread. Don't I know it? I haven't tasted a drop of gin all day. The black dog's on my back.
Well?
Hark at what I say. The doctor was promised a corpse tonight. All right, dearie, he gets a corpse tonight.
There's that funeral bell again.
What's the clock, old hag? Come on, spit it out.
A nice young corpse without any trouble or bother.
Aye.
What about young Peggy upstairs?
Strike me blind.
What about it, eh?
You'd have to be mighty careful.
Why?
You'd have to smother her with a pillow while I sit on her legs. That's what Burke and Eyre done up in Edinburgh. Then you don't leave any marks on them. See?
You're off a tick, wait. What?
If the doctors see they've been polished off, just plain murdered, they won't have nothing to do with it. Leastwise, they don't like it.
Like it or not, dearie, they all do.
Who's buying the beast tonight?
Dr. George Arnold.
Him? The young fella out Fulham Way?
That's the man, dearie.
But I thought he was too pious and holy to play.
That's what Dr. Arnold thought, too, till they started putting the screws on him at Bart's College. No corpse, they said to him. No lecture. No lecture, no student. It all comes to it, dearie, sooner or later.
What beats me is why they got to have these bodies. You'd think the doctors killed enough people as it is, without a buying them after they was dead.
Don't you question the ways of Providence, Matt Patterson.
You can't do it, Matt. You can't do it, Mother Slade.
You stow that knife, Bob Plenty.
Do you want to wake the poor girl upstairs?
But you can't do it. This cove Arnold, he knows her.
Arnold knows who.
He knows Peggy. Peggy Fair worships the ground he walks on.
Oh.
He set her arm once when Mother Slade broke it, accidental like, and she can't forget him. What's Arnold going to think when he opens up the sack and he finds...
What can Arnold do? He's bought her, ain't he? He can't go to the police and say he's bought her.
Peggy, Lester.
Don't do it, Mother Slade, don't do it.
And how do you two thickheads know what Mother Slade is going to do?
They're going to kill her, ain't you?
Peggy Lester.
I thought I heard her moving about upstairs.
You did, Mr. Milk and Water. She's on the stairs now.
Rob, you're the least to be depended on. Go out and fetch in the sack.
Don't do it. It'll bring us all bad luck.
Matt, you're a lad after me own heart. You stop where you are and do just as I tell you. Trim the candle. Let's have it all nice and snug.
What'll she bring, do you think?
15 guineas. Maybe 20. Maybe more.
20 guineas? Strike me blind. But this is a way of doing business that I like.
Did you call me Mother Slade?
That's right, my ducky. That's right, my little pet. Put your wrap around you and your slippers to keep your feet warm and come right down here to Mother Slade.
I'm coming, Mother Slade. I'm coming.
Who in those times would be a surgeon and still be an honest man? At that drugged hour of the night, look into the sitting room of a spacious house. Many candles are still alight there, though they have burned down nearly to their silver sockets. There's Chinese paper on the walls, and a Turkey carpet underfoot. In front of the fire, now almost out, sits Dr. George Arnold with his bottle green coat and heavy hair.
Dr. Arnold, sir.
I beg your pardon, Mrs. Tancred.
Dr. Arnold, sir. It's gone 2 o'clock.
Yes, so it has.
You've got a lecture to deliver tomorrow, and you'll be all worn out. Why don't you go on up to bed?
Mrs. Tancred.
Yes, sir?
You're a jewel of a housekeeper. I admire you, and I can't do without you, but would you please go away and let me alone?
Sure, I'm very sorry, sir. No offense intended.
Stop. I shouldn't have said that. I'm thinking too much, perhaps.
I'm smoking too many cigars, if you'll excuse me.
Why must they keep tolling that bell at East Hill Church? Why must they keep it up all night?
Well, sir, Elsie says the parson told them to do it. Elsie?
Wait. Who is Elsie?
Dr. Arnold, sir. I know you're always up in the clouds, mooning over books and whatnot, but I did think you'd recognize the name of your own parlour maid.
Oh, that Elsie. I see. Well?
Elsie says it's because of the murder in the churchyard.
What murder?
2 resurrection men. Body snatchers, sir. Oh, you wouldn't know anything about such people.
No, of course not.
They were caught trying to rob a grave, but they got away. One of them was a horrible big fella. Split Willie Kendrick's head open with the edge of a shovel. Is anything wrong, sir?
No, not exactly.
Well, I thought for a second, seeing how you looked.
Did they get the body?
Yes, sir. It was Willie Kendrick. His head was split open with a shovel.
No, I mean, did these resurrection men get what they were after?
No, sir.
Thank God.
Oh, you may well say that, Doctor.
Wasn't exactly speaking in the religious sense, but never mind.
Well, Elsie says there are what she calls peelers all over the place.
Peelers?
Yes, these new policemen. After Sir Robert Peel. And somebody from the new detective police that they're using instead of the Bow Street runners.
Well, Mr. Tancred, I'm going to smoke one more cigar, and then I'm going to bed.
Very good, sir.
You see, sometimes you give orders, then it's too late to recall them. Whatever the medical practice is, you can't look your conscience in the face afterwards. Then, I can't tell you how or why, a miracle comes along and saves you, and you're free. What was that?
Sounds like a horse and cart in the drive, sir.
Mrs. Tancred.
Yes, Doctor?
Would you please go upstairs? Now, make haste.
If it's visitors, sir, or even a patient...
Mrs. Tancred, you heard my instructions. Obey them.
Sir, there's the front door there.
I heard it. For the last time, go away. I will admit whatever visitors we have.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, dearie.
Oh, come into the sitting room here, Mrs. Slade.
La, sir. Just call me Mother Slade. You don't hardly seem natural or friendly to wear anything else. It's a pleasure to curtsy to you, Doctor. Cool. What a lovely room.
I suppose...
Your candles is going out, though. One by one. Poof. Then you'll be in the dark.
I suppose you've come to report failure.
Failure, dearie?
I understand you didn't get what you went after.
Bless you, dearie. We got something just as good. Finest piece of merchandise you ever saw.
You haven't got it here.
Bless you, dearie. Mother Slade always keeps her word. Bring the merchandise in, you dears, so the doctor can see it.
Please.
Oh, of course, dearie, I forgot. The big fellow with the black eyebrows is Uncle Mac. The little fellow with the watery eyes is Cousin Rob. And between them, in that sack, they're carrying...
Who is it in the sack?
19-year-old girl, dearie. Finest anatomical specimen you ever saw.
Where do you want this here thing dumped, Governor?
Easy now, Mac.
Why did you bring it here?
That's where you told us to bring it, dearie.
I mean, why did you bring it to the front door? Why not to the surgery?
Only place in the house where there was lights, Governor. Hurry up now. Where do you want it?
Well, take it...
Yes, dearie?
Take it over and put it in the cupboard there, where I'm pointing.
This cupboard here, sir?
Yes, then close the cupboard door.
Shame on you two. Tracking your muddy boots over the doctor's lovely turkey carpet. Easy now, dears. Easy now.
All right, Robin.
Don't bruise the merchandise. Whatever you do, don't bruise the merchandise.
Right, me blind. What's the odds? She can't feel it now. There's your body, Mr. Sawbones. Now, let's see your money.
Well, just one moment before I give it to you.
There ain't no itch in this, is there? Better not be.
No, I made a bargain with you, and I'll stick to it.
Thank thank you. That's uncommon genteel of you.
Kindly stand back, sir. You're 2 stone of fat heavier than I am, and you don't impress me.
Easy, Matt. Take it easy.
I want to ask only one question. Where did you get that body?
That's a question, dearie, what people in your profession don't ask.
Why not?
Because they don't dare. That's why.
Would the police be interested in where you got the body?
No, dearie. Not half so interested in as where we brought it. To your house. It's your responsibility now.
Yes, I suppose it is. The victim wouldn't be, by any chance, that pretty little girl you used to treat so unmercifully?
You hold your noise about how I treated her.
I was rather fond of Peggy.
Strike me blind. I think there's awful.
Oh, get out of this house, all of you. Go on, get out.
Not without that money, dearie. It's 20 guineas now.
There's money on the table under that newspaper. Take what you want, and get out of here before I...
Oh, what was that?
What was it?
A late visitor, I imagine.
Was you expecting anybody?
No.
Don't drop the lovely money, Lord. Don't drop it all over the carpet. Pick it up.
The back way out of ease?
Yes, it's the way you should have come. Through that arch and down the passage.
Thank you for the rhino, Governor. And no games, mind you. If you know what's good for me.
Good night, dearie. Remember, you've got the body now.
Yes. I've got the body now. Poor little devil.
Dr. Arnold, sir.
In heaven's name, Mrs. Tancred, haven't you gone to bed yet?
I had to get up, sir, to answer the bell.
Yes, of course. I'm sorry.
Dr. Arnold, what's the matter with you?
Matter?
You're as white as a ghost, and you're almost crying.
Am I? Well, we must remedy that.
It's so dark in here, I could barely see you sitting there. The candles going out, one after another. Nothing but smoke and an ugly smell of grease and that cupboard door.
What about that cupboard door?
Oh, I always declare, sir, it won't keep shut without any latch or bolt. If you'll excuse the little...
Mrs. Tancred, keep away from that cupboard.
Dr. Arnold, sir. Are you ill or anything?
No, but keep away from that cupboard. Who rang the bell?
Oh, dear, I was almost forgetting. It's that man Elsie was talking to us about.
What man?
The officer of the detective police, sir. He wants to see you.
Well, I'll see him, but in some other room, not here. It's, as you say, there's not enough light.
Not a bit of it, Doctor, not a bit of it. Never too dark, as you might say, where the police are concerned.
I couldn't have it, sir. He must have followed me down the hall.
Are you...
That's right, Doctor. I'm Stalker at your service. Inspector Stalker.
Oh, how do you do, Inspector? Mrs. Tancred, you may go.
By your leave, sir. I'll just get some more candles and put them in that bracket by the cupboard. It's not in use.
No, you needn't trouble.
It's no trouble, sir. Excuse me.
First of all, Doctor, I must apologize for intruding as late as this.
Not at all, Inspector. Will you be seated?
Thank you, sir. Thank you kindly. Now, I dare say you're wondering why I'm here.
Oh, yes, I am, rather.
It's a bad business, Doctor. A very bad business.
You mean the murder in the churchyard?
Oh, you've heard about it.
Well, my housekeeper said something about a man being killed with a shovel.
That's right, Doctor. Not much doubt about who did that.
No?
No. The little fellow dropped his dark lantern with the initials on it. They're professional body snatchers. We've had our eye on them for a long time. Speaking of body snatchers, Doctor...
Well?
I expect this anatomy law is pretty hard on you surgeons.
It's an infamous law, sir.
All the same, Doctor, it is the law.
Yes.
And if any surgeon happened to be caught with a body, especially a murdered body...
What are you hinting at?
Nothing, Doctor, nothing. By your leave, I only want to ask a question.
Well?
What time did your friends leave? Now, come, Doctor. As one man of the world to another, do you see any green in my eye? You're not going to say you had no guests when their horse and cart are still at your front door.
They didn't get away.
No, Doctor, they didn't. For they made a little reception committee as they left by the back door. Darbies on the wrists. Snap. Just as I might reach out and touch your wrist. Like this.
What do you mean by darbies?
Handcuffs. I've got a pair in my pocket. Gags into their mouths. That's to keep them from biting.
Do we have to go on with this? You already seem to know everything I could tell you.
Not exactly everything. I don't know, for instance, where you've hidden the girl's body.
You're a very diligent man, Inspector Stalker.
Thank you, sir. I try to do my duty.
You said a girl?
These gin-muddled degenerates have been watched every second since they left East Hill Churchyard. They hadn't a body then, but they brought one here. And there's only one other person who lives in the same house with them.
Dr. Arnold, sir?
Mrs. Tancred, listen to me.
Yes, sir?
Must you always break in with the most completely ill-timed entrances at all the worst period of my life?
I was only trying to be helpful, sir.
That's right, madam. Always be helpful.
You had to have some light. Here's the candles, sir. 5 of them. In a big candelabrum. We can hang them in the bracket.
Ma'am, hold up that light. Hold it high.
Really, sir? I'm not in the habit of being spoken to with...
Hold it high, I tell you.
Do as the inspector tells you, Mrs. Tancred.
This is a very fine carpet you've got here, Doctor.
Yes, others have admired it tonight.
But it oughtn't to have footprints on it. Muddy footprints. Footprints leading from the door, past the sofa, past the hearth, over to...
that cupboard. Quite correct.
I think that's done it, Dr. Arnold.
I think it has, Inspector Stalker.
We couldn't have proved anything against you for that churchyard business. But this...
Let me open Bluebeard's cupboard, Inspector. Let me be the first to show you what's inside. You wanted a certain body. It appears you've come to the right place. Now,
look. Lord Almighty.
I'm the body, Mr. Police. Standing up, I'm very much alive. I'm wearing a nice new dress that the doctor gave me.
That I gave you?
Don't say anything. Please don't say anything.
Stop a bit, miss. Aren't you Peggy Lester?
Yes. Just because the doctor has to be so terribly respectable, and a girl who's fond of him has to come here in secret.
Wait a minute, everybody. Peggy Lester, you're lying.
I am not lying.
So that's it. Why didn't I guess it? It's the oldest body snatcher trick in the world.
Is it?
Of course, the old pinch penny like Mother Slade couldn't sacrifice a good household grudge. Of course they brought the body here, instead of taking it to the surgery, where it might get locked up.
Could you be persuaded, Inspector, to tell us just what you're talking about?
The body snatcher, sir.
Well, what about them?
They take a living accomplice and put him into a sack and sell him to a green doctor as a dead man.
Yes, but see here,
They get the best price they can. Then in the middle of the night, that accomplice gets up and robs the doctor's house. And the doctor can't tell us because he's bought illegal goods.
I never intended to go through with it.
No, young woman?
I tell you, I wasn't going to rob the house. They made me do this. I was going to tell Dr. Arnold. When I found out where they were taking me, I pretended to go through with it so I could warn the doctor. They can hurt so much, you'll agree to almost anything.
Oh, that sounds like the truth, but it puts me in a funny position and no mistake.
Oh, your 3 murderers, Inspector, seem to be leaving.
Yes, they're leaving right enough. Trussed up like fowls and under guard.
Does anybody go with them?
Well, how can anybody go with them? I'm willing to believe this girl acted under threat. She's committed no crime. And I don't for the life of me see how we can touch you.
Can't touch me?
No, sir. And confound you for making me lose a night's sleep. There's no body. You didn't even buy a body. Will you tell me, Doctor, just what crime you committed?
And so ends The Body Snatcher. The story of London at midnight, 100 years ago. And tonight's story of Suspense. Columbia presents these tales of mystery and intrigue and dangerous adventure for your relaxation and enjoyment. Next Tuesday, there will be another in this series. Same hour, 9:30 Eastern War Time. William Spear, the producer, John Dietz, the director, Alexander Semler, the composer, conductor, and John Dixon Carr, the author, are collaborators on Suspense.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Thank you for listening to and showing your support for my podcast. If you would like to receive notifications of when new episodes are posted, please subscribe to my channel. Subscriptions are 100% free, and they really help me get an idea of how I'm doing. Well, hope you enjoyed, and until next time, stay safe, wish you well, and as always, peace.